YouTube channel. We are live now. And so, how are you all doing as well out there on the YouTube and also on the Facebook channel?
Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on the Powerhouse radio station are those of the host, guests, and callers and not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other hosts or advertisers. The show and on the Powerhouse radio station can promote any lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to treat, diagnose, and/or train any cure of disease or condition. Opinions stated by various contributors to the Powerhouse Radio and its programming are not to be considered as endorsed by the Powerhouse Radio station. Visitors are urged to use their own discernment to draw their own conclusions. We emphasize the importance of keeping an open mind.
Yeah. Greetings, Don. Thank you. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Big up yourself, Don Minette. Big up yourself, Jacqueline. Make sure that you share the link. The sister says, don't give up. Twiggy, big up yourself. Yes, greetings, greetings, greetings. How are you all doing? Man, it's so fantabulously fabuloso to be right here with you all. Waiting for Mama Acid to log on, to log in. I don't know if she has sleep or what. I don't know, Mama Acid say I'm gonna take a little nap and thing and up to now Mama Acid can't log in. I don't know. But anyway, man, I'm telling you, it's so great to be back. We're gonna be having Sister Zephyr gonna join me in the studio. She's gonna come in the studio. Man, there's so much to talk about. So much to talk about. We have been MIA for 3 months, And I thank each and every one, all of my supporters, listeners, well wishers, and all of those things. I just want to thank each and every one of you for your prayers that you all have sent my way. I've felt it, and well, I'm back. We're back. Powerhouse is back, and setting it up where we have a better way of when we're grieving and dealing with things that it must go on. You know what I mean? It must go on. But yeah, life. Life is such a beautiful thing. Life is such a beautiful thing. And I'm hoping that each and every one embrace life to your fullest. You know, every second, every minute of the hour, you just take even that second just to inhale and know that you're alive and all is well. Yeah, because another day brings a second chance. Well, so much has been going on in the news, media, entertainment. So much has been going on. We've missed a lot. We've missed a lot, and we're not going to go backwards and go way back and try to rehash all of those stories. So we're just staying current. And some of the things that we reasoned on was, definitely one of them is going to be the rape culture in the world. Because it's not just entertainment. Right now we're saying, yeah, entertainment. But, I mean, it's all over the world. It is something that all over the world. I don't know if the people ever go, if persons are getting mad or what it is, but it's just like it's all over the world, and it's so ironic how many persons are coming out in the Caribbean community in the entertainment industry and speaking about it. Lady Anne openly spoke about it. And, myself, when I've had an interview with Twiggy earlier in the business, I had to hey, you understand? So here I am, a radio personality versus being a DJ. Yes, yeah. So in this industry, it's a crazy thing, It's not just in the industry, but in the world. Tanya Steven brought up some great things, and she opened a floor of discussion that really, really needed to be discussed. That so many people, individuals, persons are coming out and speaking out and saying what happened to them and feeling empowered to can call out what happened to them even without a name. Because in some ways it's like you putting that responsibility back in that person's hand to say, check yourself, why does it have to be a name? And I kind of agree with Tanya. You're damn if you do, you're damn if you don't, really say a name, and they bash you either which way it goes. And as it is saying, there's a lot of implications, there's a lot of consequences that can come from sometime naming persons. The young lady, for those who is not following and don't know really what I'm speaking about, I'm speaking on the sexual harassments and rapes that happens to not just into women entertainers, but women in general. Women in general. The numbers right here is 706-955-2001. The number is 706-955-2001. We're waiting for Mama Acid to join us. And also we have Zephyr that's going to be joining us in the studio as well. So the telephone lines are going to be open, so you can definitely call in and give me your opinion on it. And the rape culture in its all. And do we have people that we know really? Where you see the big man then with the little girls then? Where you really, where you thinking of your mind? What goes in, what was playing in your mind? We're reasoning. This is called Reasoning Thursdays, where we're reasoning with one another on just all types of things, you know. So, what is your thought? Do you think that you really condoned or saw certain things and kept your eyes closed when, when you saw your brother, your big brother with this little girl, or drop her off, or, you know, your friend standing there making comments when these little girl, I mean, you're a big man, you're a big man, and, you have these little girls that are we really enablers? Are we enablers of it all? You know, 706-955-2001 is the number. And it's called Reasoning Thursdays. So definitely feel free to chime in and reason with me. Um, Rape culture. Is it necessary to put a name on the perpetrator? Because that's a big thing with Tanya Stevens. Everyone wants her to, name her perpetrator, which I don't really see the necessity in it. And it's evident of what's going on with that Korean young lady. Well, we have other things that we're going to be reasoning on as well as the rape culture. Voting. Do you know that this is the most important time to vote right now? Your local Congress and all of these local people. Yeah, it's so if you haven't registered, I'm hoping that you have already, because I don't know if it's too late to register, but this is the most crucial time. And even during the time when the presidency was going on, and we reasoned on that, where we were explaining about the oh my God, the electoral college and all of those things when we were reasoning on that. So this is the most important. So it's time for you, if you haven't already, use your fingers, go on those internets, and find out whom your local person is. The person whom is running in your area, whatever district you're in. Make sure that you go and find out, because in another 3 years when it's time to vote, and also with all of what's going on right now, it's crazy. You know what I mean? So we're going to talk about that. Excuse me. What about some of the stuff of what was going on in Haiti? We want to talk about that when we're waiting on our guests to come in. And we're waiting on also Mama Acid to chime in. But I'm just keeping the ball rolling and keeping it friendly and warm for you all. And looking forward for you all to call in and chime in with me. For those persons who are listening via the telephone lines, I want to say big up to you and thank you for listening. And the persons who are listening through our website, want to say big ups to you as well, and thank you for listening. www.dapowerhouseradio.com, and also who is listening on our Facebook page and our YouTube. Be sure to go to our YouTube channel. We're trying to get up there in some numbers, so go to our YouTube channel, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, so that way you can be notified. We have great programmings over here. If you missed it last night, you need to tune in next week, Wednesday, for Let's Gripe with Tonia, Marcus, and McKenna. You got to check them out on Wednesday night from 7 p.m. up until the 8 o'clock hour. And also, we have Kids Way that is coming back. You're going to check them out. A lot of smart 12-year-olds giving you from their perspectives. Okay, 12-year-olds. So check them out on a Thursday night. I think it's 6 to 7 next week. And I Am Meta on a Sunday. It's coming on with Sister Zephyr, and you definitely don't want to miss Iron Methods, the holistic and all of the healing things for your body. So you don't want to miss that. And be sure to check out All About Love, Nothing But Love, with yours truly, Lady D Blossom and Cool G, on a Sunday evening from 7 p.m. until we say when. So, you know, some great program. Brother Bresrick is on following Reasoning Thursdays. So lots of great things going on over here. And the 3Bs on a Monday night from 7 to 8 p.m. So 8 to 9 p.m. So you got to check them out as well. So just buying a little time. And why don't we continue to reason on rape culture for now until we have our joinees. Well, it's out, before I even get to there, it's our first week back. First week back. And it was supposed to be an explosive week. But you know, I can't reason by myself. So the telephone needs to ring. But yeah, I'm going to still chit chat with you all anyway. As to, and I like the subject of the rape culture and what is going on. It's not that I like it, but it is a topic that really needs to be discussed, you know. And it's so ironic that in the industry that left and right, it's coming out. It's coming out. Itana made an announcement as well, and it is alleged that there's another 5 or 6 more entertainers that has came out and spoke that they have been harassed and you know, been asked for favors in order to move ahead. And it's just an everyday thing. I was talking to someone today, and I was asking them in Jamaica how they're doing and what's going on. So they advised me that, well, you know, they kind of is on leave from the job because the manager wanted to do whatever. So I said, what you mean? So she said, well, the manager made a pass after me and I backed him up. So a couple of days later, he tells me that he's put me on leave. You know, he's doing some type of rotation business, and he's put the person on leave. So even in the workplace, you know, women is facing these sexual harassment, and in a third world country, it's like, how much of it is really what can really be done? It's not you know, they don't have money to say let's get an attorney and file charges, sexual harassment. So now this person don't have a job because she backed off the supervisor advances. I mean, what's your thought on it? What's your thought on it? You know, what can we do? What can women do to get some type of justice? Did you all hear what Tanya said about suppose we start to pray? Suppose the victims start to pray, the women start to pray on the men. I mean, is that a thought? I'm not advocating for violence, but I'm just saying, have you ever look into yourself and ask yourself, have you ever saw an adult man making a pass after a little girl? Have you ever said anything? Do you have family members that really drive around with these little girls and you see them and you know? Have you ever said anything? Have you ever questioned them? Have you ever made them feel less of a person? Really, check yourself and ask yourself, have you really family members, big man friend, your friend or your brethren, and you hear them sitting there talking some ways. You hear them sitting there talking some ways. And have you ever checked them, or do you laugh and giggle and why I picked that or make it like a jokifying thing? Have you ever really check yourself? Because yeah, we're gonna say this happened all the time, especially in the past, and say, but we're not talking about the past. No, we're not talking about past. We're talking about right now, right now. Enough big man that they asleep off the little kids them, and a lot of you know, and don't say anything, and then it's called consensual, and if these little children saying no, they're still being touched, and mm, it's something. It's something. I would like to, well, no, maybe I wouldn't, because I wouldn't be too nice about it to necessarily sit and talk with a perpetrator, because I don't understand what type of arousal that a one can get from a child, especially those that have children of their own, and girl child of their own, and to just imagine someone, violating in that form of way. So I'm hoping it's something that persons continue to talk about, because it's well needed, and it's needed to put shame. I think we really need to put shame on the whole thing, on the whole normalcy of it, because it's such a normal thing that no one not even has said nothing about it. No one is even saying nothing about it. So that's how normal and common it is. And we need to really put a stop to it. I know that. And call it for what it is. Call a spade, and call out these perpetrators. Call them out. Call them out. Yeah. Another thing that bothered me is the Texas abortion law, as we're reasoning. And I definitely don't agree with that law whatsoever. Let me tell you that. And I don't agree with it, because I feel that each person has to live with whatever they choose to do in life. And I feel that for them to impose certain things on persons, they shouldn't. They have a right to do what they want with their selves. That's just how it is. We do have our guests popping up in here, and we're still waiting for Mama Acid to chime in. Not sure what's going on with her electricity and so on. So we're going to be waiting on Mama Acid to chime in over here. I want to say big ups to Jean. Big ups to Jean, large up yourself. I want to say big ups to you, Queen. Thanks for checking in, and thanks for listening. And Blossom, big shout outs to you. Thanks for checking in and talking with us. What's going on with the madness? Jakir is in jail overseas. Yeah, that's just a little snippet there for all who didn't know. I'm telling you, this world is getting mad. The Zephyr's in the house with me.
Big up, big up.
You know what? We want to say happy birthday to all the birthday folks. Happy anniversary to those who is celebrating an anniversary. And whatever celebration that you all are celebrating in life, we want to say big ups to you as well. Zephyr, how are you doing, my sister?
I am splentabulous, dear. Thank you for asking. Happy
Pull
to
up
be
your
here.
mic, pull up your mic,
You're
so
done.
that you can be
Yeah, here we
heard,
go.
because you're not being heard.
Can you all hear me now?
Yes,
Can
we
you
can
hear
hear you.
Yeah.
She's in a mood. She's in a great vibes of it here.
Yeah,
Right?
you done know.
And this is Zephyr does I Am Meta,
On
and that's
Sundays.
each and every Sundays from 6 to 7. I Am Meta. So Zephyr, I was talking a little bit about the rape culture.
Yeah, very important topic in these times.
A very important topic, and I touched it, and I was on it for quite some time. So, would you have anything to throw in there?
Yeah, and just so you all can be aware, this rape culture has been around for a very long time.
Okay.
Even if you go back to the theological belief systems, when I remember the story, the tribes of Israel, when Dinah, the daughter, was raped and things like that. These cultures have been going on. And you know her brothers, they did some village justice.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the way people feel justice will be served for any rape victim, whether male or female.
Right.
It's that village justice, because that's, to me, the only time justice is served. You go into a system, the matrix seeking a justice. No, they have plea bargains, they have laws in place. They put those laws in place because you have to remember who established these laws in the first place.
Yeah.
To protect the predators. Because, see, the predators weren't who they are today. It's expanded, it's evolved. Everybody's putting, a token in the hat because they see they can get away with it.
Yeah.
This rape culture, it has to stop somewhere. On Sunday, just so you all would know, not to discuss the show, but I Am Meant will be back on the air, after our little break.
Mm-hmm.
But we are going to be speaking about health and wellness and how these type of traumas, situations affect a person spiritually, mentally, and physically.
Yeah.
Sometimes for life, until they go through a process of cleansing, clearing, and all that energy. But we're going to stick to the topic tonight. This rape culture, and I heard Dee Dee said something about Jacure and all that. Well, when he served time in jail, if I'm not mistaken,
For the
that
same
was rape.
It's just for rape as well.
It was rape. And guess what happened?
Rape as well.
Them celebrities singing song, let free up Jacure, this, da, 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 da. Yeah, see, you all condone it.
Yeah.
Those fans, those colleagues, those friends and family, that, free them up. Okay, well, if it was your daughter or your son, you wouldn't be singing that.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be singing to free a rapist.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? Karmic justice is the final justice, or any kind of justice cannot supersede karmic justice. Because look at his life since he's been out.
Yeah.
Divorce, jail.
But should we also think about ourselves and think about our thought process? And when you say, using Jacure as an example, you know what I'm saying? We purchase his music.
Yeah.
We listen to the music.
Yeah.
With what we say, this rape culture.
Yep.
So are we enablers? That was one of my questions I had asked earlier.
I think so.
Are we enablers of these
I
people
think
that
so.
commit these crimes? Because we're loving some unconditional love.
Yep.
We're loving some That Girl. We're loving a lot of the songs that Jacure sings.
I don't listen to his songs anymore. I don't support predators. And I mean that in the fullness. If I was invited to a concert or stage show, and certain people are going to be present, I wouldn't go if they have done acts in their lives that are offensive to someone.
Okay.
That violated or traumatized someone. No, I wouldn't support you. I don't care how well you sing. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. So we are enablers.
Yeah.
Of these perpetrators, because not only just with the music, we support the music, we support our family members. that is doing these things. We're not calling out people for doing these things. Everything is kept under the hush hush.
Yeah, and secretive and all that. So we would run them out of town.
So we as people also have to take a blame in all of this as well.
Yeah.
And we all have to do better.
People don't talk up until it affects them directly a lot of times.
Until it affects them directly. Yeah.
They don't talk up. They don't defend people. I advocate against domestic violence, which has a lot to do with all of that, because it's whether it's husband, wife, man, woman living with, they are husbands who rape their wives.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you know what I'm
They rape their wives.
I didn't even touch that part of it.
I know a divorced couple. The very last encounter they had was rape.
Yeah.
It went to court and trial and everything. Yes, because not because this is your wife or husband means you have a right to violate. If you all are having problems, can't work it out, and she's saying, you know what, I'm not in the mood for all that, and let's just, just go our separate ways, you have no right to put your hands on her and rape her and take anything that's not given to you freely.
Right.
And to personally, there's a justice system that I deal with, and it may not be the usual that is there in place, because it's all part of a matrix. They protect predators. We already know that. How many victims? Anytime something like this happens, how many times do you hear them talking about the victim and not the predator? Especially if they're a governor or a priest or, a pastor or a father. When the mother, stepfather, boyfriend, the mother be like, oh, stop lying and all this foolishness. Especially when children are coming to you saying, your mommy, such and such touched me. Mommy, no. Lie, I tell. And all this kind of foolishness. Stop it, women. Because I don't know any little girl or little boy go to their father and say that. And they don't take somebody's head off.
Yeah.
But women are hiding. They hide their boyfriends. They hide their wrongdoings. Start homeschooling the children so they don't go to school and talk about it. You got to stop that, because guess what? There is village justice. And don't be surprised if we come for you.
Oh, we're not advocating violence. You're not advocating violence. No. That's
no.
That
we don't. No.
Yeah,
we're not encourage violence.
Taja Stevens said, suppose the victim becomes the predator.
Well, you know what? It happens.
And spit it back.
It happens because they're angry and it's unresolved.
Yeah.
See, once it's unresolved, they're gonna come for you or anyone like you. And guess what? We're not gonna encourage violence, because we don't do that.
No.
We're not gonna encourage violence, but I will let you know we are gonna stand up.
Yeah.
For principle.
Yeah.
And we are gonna protect family.
Yeah.
We are in a community. Protect your women and children, especially. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know some men out there need protection too. Don't get me wrong. But man's supposed to depend on the puss.
Okay. Well, all right. It's deep.
It's deep.
It's a deep thing. But once again, like I said, check yourself.
Yeah.
And know if you have been an enabler. And once you check yourself and you realize that you are an enabler, then what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it?
Yes. They're going to sit there and watch everybody else on YouTube talk about it.
It's something to ask yourself. What are you going to do
about it? Yeah.
About it.
Matter of fact,
you know what I'm
those
saying?
of you that may be looking at this, whether it's right now or sometime later in the week, whenever you catch up with this video, if you have experienced these type of violations and trauma, look at how your life went if you haven't dealt with it. Look at your life. Look at your relationships. Look at everything that just does not blossom. It's because those are unresolved issues. And sometimes they're before your lifetime. These signatures, they're called energetic signatures.
Okay.
Once it's unresolved, it's going to continue through lineage and lineage and lineage until it's resolved. Don't think the rape just ends at that moment that it happens.
No, it takes lots of years of healing.
That
and even then, sometimes
mostly
years of
women, I
healing.
would say at the time, you know, that I know, mostly women, it's years. And they have family and children, and then those children, what do you call it, inherit these energetic signatures and don't even have a clue what's going on, why their life is the way it is.
Yeah.
Their energetic signatures, energies, permeates all things.
Okay.
And once they're unresolved, you're going to start seeing a lot of health challenges occur because of it. We'll talk more about that on Sunday, but I'm going to speak about one in particular. Women who are dealing with vaginism. All right?
Okay.
That happens a lot when women that go through these type of violations and traumas and sexual assaults, and we're not just talking about any kind of little pushover, kiki type of assault. We're talking about brutal assault, where some women probably almost didn't make it. All right? Those women, a lot of them, if they go to OBGYN to get a checkup, it's a problem to try to get anything inserted in there. It shuts.
No, okay. Well, we're not
Yeah.
going.
No, I'm just saying nothing is allowed in. We'll touch more on it because I know y'all want to know about it. But women experience it just doesn't stop there. They experience all kind of stuff, and vaginism is one of them.
Oh Lord. Oh God. Well, listen. What about the trooper stomping? Alleged trooper stomping did you see that
On the video?
Yeah.
I mean, how could they say it's alleged when they can see it?
That was my.
It's not alleged if you can see it.
That was my thing about it. I was like, alleged. How can it be alleged and you see him?
And you see it.
Yeah.
Look, you know, there are people who wait on a system, depending on what system you working with.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. You're not going to come with the wrongdoings and think you're going to get away with it. You see, a lot of times people just don't know certain laws and certain rights, and some people have been killed for it because they know it.
Yeah.
Right? But because of these, now that everything can be recorded, the neighbor across the street, they got cameras all over the place, everybody's seeing everything. So they're kind of cautious now compared to before, even though it's still happening. But it was happening so much because it was totally undetected.
Yeah.
They were keeping it below the radar.
Yeah, that's just
and I think it's
that's adrenaline. I think that was adrenaline, and
look,
I think
they need to go and get psychological assessments to see if they are still able to function in that capacity and that type of work.
And I think the time that everyone's pushing COVID, they may need to push and have these police officers have some real serious psychiatric evaluations, because they are, you know, they're getting crazy with it.
People are going to take things into their own hands. They're
crazy with it. And it doesn't matter if it's black on black. It doesn't matter if it's black on white on black. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. It's
wrong.
Wrong.
It's just, it's wrong, and it's wrong.
It's a misuse of power and authority. Let me just say authority, because they have no power. That's why they do what they do. Because if it was somebody who can deal with them, they wouldn't do that. But when they feel that they can do what they want to do with you, they will.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. So I think that it's something that is very dangerous. Yeah. And they need to really go and do a monthly, weekly sit down, you know, speak with a psychiatrist, you know, things
that was
like
just
that.
too much. That was excessive.
It was out of order, and it should not have happened.
And I don't care about no administrative nothing. You see it, fire the man and let him wait. Yeah. If they're going to take it to court, whatever they're going to do.
Yeah.
I mean, some of us think different.
I'm totally against that. I was trying to pull up, I don't know what, the call was coming in, but I couldn't get to it.
What you need?
No, I don't need anything right now. Let's touch another subject, since as far as the office is concerned. I'm hoping that he is reprimanded. I'm hoping that he gets the proper counseling, you know, and maybe be assigned to some other type of duty.
He should be charged for assault. And I don't care what they do with him. He should be charged for assault, because that's what he did. Not because he is an officer means he had the right to abuse, you know, his authority.
That's it.
People are dying. People are getting hurt. People have families.
Yeah.
to go home to.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is what we have to deal with. Still fighting for human rights.
That was he literally stomped.
He stomped the
this
man. Well, guess what else too?
And it was stated that he had tased him. He tased him twice. One missed, and then he tased him again. And
But why? Was the man trying to attack him?
yeah, the man was running.
Running away from him?
Away. He
All
wasn't
right.
running towards.
He's running away.
So there need to be some type of law or something as to when they're running away.
Look how many of them got shot in the back. Okay,
So that's
come
what I'm
on.
saying. There needs to be some type of law
Misuse of
in regards
authority.
to when a person is fleeing from you, they're not endangering you. Then I feel that there ought to be a law on that.
I don't think they should be killed.
Most
I don't think they should be
They
assaulted.
shouldn't be killed and
And
they
all
shouldn't be
that
stomped.
stuff.
They shouldn't be killed and they shouldn't be stomped.
And all of that. Let's skip out.
All right. Yeah. So with that being said, we definitely agree on, charges, psychiatric evaluation.
Everything. He needs everything.
He needs everything.
Yeah.
You know,
He
and-
needs one of those. What do they call them? Getaways for
And he
people
needs
who
to,
do this?
and if they're not going to fire him, assign him some desk job, but don't give
They
him
need to
back
fire him.
those same duties.
You know why they keep doing
that
it?
They're gonna do.
This is why they keep doing it, Didi.
Right, because they're not going to fire.
They're not firing them. They're not
Right.
feeling it financially
They're not.
for them
They're
and their
not
family.
firing. They're not firing them because they barely have any police officers.
So
they're trying to hold
the
on
ones they have
to
half
the
of them
police
killing
officer
people
that they
unjustly.
have. It's sad.
So
It's
tell me.
sad. Let's talk about killing people. It's 8:50. We have 10 minutes to go. Let's talk about killing people. And with the big C and the hospital capacity, I have an issue with when these hospitals are saying that they're full to capacity. There was a time back in 2020 when there was this overload and they made makeshift beds, areas to accommodate these persons that were sick.
Yep.
Now it's like all of a sudden we can't do this. We cannot make more beds to accommodate these people because why? We want them to get the big V. So therefore we're making no beds, which it doesn't just hinders the hospital and the everyday. You have persons now trying to have babies in their homes.
Yep.
Getting a lot of midwife help because there's no capacity in the hospitals. So what happened to all of those tents? What happened to all of these things that we made back in 2020 when there was not any vaccine to assist the big V to assist with caring for these people? Where are all those extra oxygen machines and those extra things that were purchased to assist with helping?
Is never to assist.
Okay.
The plan is to push what they're pushing. Let's call it the big P's then,
Okay.
right? All of that to push that. Okay, they earned their billions.
Okay.
Now they want to earn billions more. Now you're trying to mandate this, mandate that. Different countries. Da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm like this.
Uh-huh.
It's not a cure. Don't talk to me about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keep yourself healthy. You don't have to worry about that. But people are dying. They talk about dying from C, but they're not talking about who's dying from V.
Yeah.
Josie Wells' wife.
Just passed
She
away. It's
transitioned
alleged.
after
It's alleged that after
that she got that.
Yeah.
Healthy
Yeah.
woman.
Yeah.
Just like that. Boom.
And there's many more.
Yeah.
There's many
Nurses
more,
and doctors
that
too.
part of it is not being publicized or talked about or anything like that. But my question really is, and I think that is a legitimate question, is all of the makeshift beds and tents and all of these things that they had previously when there was no vaccine, no big V, right? When there was none of that around, what happened to those equipments? what happened to those things? Why we're now saying everything is full to capacity?
They're herding, well, let me say they're corralling the herd into a pen.
Okay.
It's called a corral. They're going to drive fear in you.
Yeah.
Hospital bills are full. We don't have we can't take no more. We can't help anybody. All this is going on, and everybody's gonna have this fear and run go line up, wrong the kind of line, twist up, turn up because they fear.
Yeah.
They're driving this through fear.
And up till now, I still can't get a solid answer as to why, if you've already had the big C, why do they feel when it's stated that, you know, your resistance is better with your own immune system more than having the big V.
They can say whatever they want. It's all about money.
There was a Dr. Christina Holly, the LA County Director of Health Services, says some county employees who have survived the big C but have not been vaccinated have asked whether they have measurable levels of antibodies to prove they are immune. Well, they're saying that there is currently no evidence that allows health officials to discern.
Yep.
So my question is, why have there also not have been studies? If you're studying everything surrounding it, then why there's not a study on herd immunity?
It's not part of their plan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not part everything from the beginning of when, let's say, people start to put together governing bodies.
Mm-hmm.
They already had their plots and their schemes of how they're going to do things, and every year they're going to make it up as they go. It's a virus.
Yeah.
Flu. They're getting flu shot every year, right? Mm-hmm. If they already got it last year, why they got to get it this year? Because of different strands. That's why they want you to keep getting that.
Yeah.
Because look, a cold is a virus, and people get it often, like twice a year, sometimes 3-4 times. Children get it all the time. Mm-hmm. These are viruses. How can you build someone's system to say you're never going to get sick, you're never going to get a virus? It doesn't happen.
You're going to get it.
You're going to get one
sick.
virus or another somewhere.
Yeah.
It all depends on your level of health, on how your body is going to combat whatever is coming in.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of viruses. There are deadly viruses out here that would.
Well, we have to start taking care of
ourselves. Yeah.
You know, it's you have to start taking care of ourselves.
Yeah. Don't depend on the people who.
But I also think that it also needs to be a question to our government as to where are the extra supplies, why we don't have beds, and where's the extra equipment, why we don't have enough equipment. And
it's probably sitting up in some storage somewhere, just
right.
like how they found all that water in Flint River.
And I also want to know what they're going to do about the layoffs of over 72,000 healthcare workers. Mm-hmm. When you already have a shortage in the healthcare system, and now you have fired over 72,000.
Yeah.
I mean,
they want to prove a point.
The sense in this?
Yeah, they want to prove a point. They want to prove a point that government have the right to unjustly create fear, unjustly create what they call medicines. Yeah. I spell that with the S-I-N on the N because it's not a cure. It's a violation.
It's not a cure. It's just
it's not a cure.
Cover up and camouflage. You ever take
it's about money.
You ever get an aspirin and you take the aspirin and then your headache stop for a little bit, and after the 4 hours it come back because you never solved what the issue was.
Right. Collateral damage.
It's just a matter of
we're the laboratory that they're testing. Okay. They're testing, and if you want to join that group to be tested for you to be one of those lab rats, then go ahead. I don't have anything against it. If you want to do it, go right ahead.
Yeah, well, you know, I say to each its own. If whatever works for you, and
but you're not going to impose that in people's bodies.
Right. Whatever it makes you feel comfortable with it. I just don't like.
You shouldn't be demanding it.
Persons to do what they choose to do.
Nurses and doctors who had the vaccinations also died.
Yeah.
when
Well,
they caught it.
there's a lot of a lot of nurses and doctors worked through it and they caught it and they still was working through it
Yeah.
before. So I mean, I guess it's
Without
the voice,
vaccination,
I
even.
guess it's the voice of the people
Yeah.
that needs to speak up, and once the people speak up, then hopefully
Yeah.
things
Guess what's going to
can
happen now?
change.
After that layoff,
Mhm.
now they're going to overwork the rest of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Overwork. And guess what overwork means? It means tiring. Tiresome, right? Your body get tired, guess what else slacks down and slow down? Your
Yeah.
immune support.
Yeah.
If you're exhausted, trust me, you're quicker to catch a cold
Okay.
or anything because your immune suppresses under certain fear and tiredness, and when you're not, especially if you're a night worker who working at night, if you're not getting sleep between that 10 and 4 circadian rhythm time to renew all those cells and brain tissues and the nephrons and the neurons and all the stuff in your kidney and all the stuff, if you don't renew yourself, then you're going to wake up tired to go back and do another 12-hour shift.
Yeah. You gotta well, it's
Yeah.
8:59. We're gonna get ready to get up out the air chair. And, we definitely just want to encourage each and every one, on one of the subtopics, the reason that we did was the rape culture. For each and every one, check yourself.
Yeah.
Check yourself.
And then
as
keep your
to-
support.
Yeah. And call it out.
From a
You
long
know what I
time,
mean?
I wasn't listening to R.
Call
Kelly.
it out.
From the very
Call
first
it
time
out.
I heard that, decades ago,
Yeah.
me done cut off R. Kelly.
R. Kelly.
I'm in the business
Yeah.
with him music.
Well,
I don't
we
care
need to-
where him sing.
We need to check. We need to check our own selves.
We have to become advocates
and
for
advocates
ourselves,
for ourselves,
our people,
for
our families, our communities.
sisters, for our
Yes,
communities,
out there who are suffering.
Our daughters. We have to be the voice.
Have to be the voice.
And I'm so glad that it's being pushed into the Caribbean community, especially with this
Yeah.
situation with
Rape culture.
China's sister, and it's fine. It's being
not
called
acceptable.
out. It's being called out.
It's not acceptable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's being called out. Also, I don't know if you weren't here when I was touching a little bit on the Texas and their abortion law that they came up with, and from what I've been told, it's been shut down by a judge there in Texas. But I just think that everyone has a right to do what they want with them. With their
Well,
own
I
bodies.
feel a lot of those, you got to remember who's writing these laws, dear.
Yeah.
Okay? These abortion laws, well, I'm like this. I'm pro-life. All right?
Mhm.
But I'm not going to tell anybody what to do with their body and
themselves.
why and how and all this kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Because that's your choice,
Exactly.
however
Mhm.
you want to go, because it's your karma, whether
That's
good,
it.
bad, or indifferent.
You're the one who has to.
You're the one who have to
That's
deal
the
with that
same thing
ultimately.
with the big V.
However,
You're the one who's gonna die, so just leave me alone if I don't.
right. But let me say this about the laws when the judges
I'm
are
just-
trying to
I'm just
shut
kidding.
down
I'm just kidding.
that particular option for women.
Mhm.
Why they're doing it? You have to look at the birth rates, dear.
Yeah.
Look at the infant mortality rate. Look and see who's dying,
Mhm.
who's having the highest amount of abortions, what children or what ethnic group of children are being birthed with a lower birth rate.
Mhm.
See, this is their way of saying, hey, they've already superseded us
Mhm.
10 times over. We have to stop this process so we can try and catch up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the ones who have a high rate of childbirth is not the one who have the higher rate of abortions.
Okay.
All right? And you see, when you get through a certain period of time, like what they call it, a reproductive age and stage and stuff, a lot of women have trouble trying to even get pregnant after those stages. Sometimes they get in their late 30s. I mean, your egg probably is already shuffling out your basket. But they're trying to encourage women nowadays to have babies during their childbearing years. So you're going to see more women getting married earlier, having children earlier. It used to be like that before. Because remember, people were getting married earlier. Then it changed to a whole different culture. Then everybody, wanted to do their own thing. This, oh, I'm going to wait. I want my career. I want this. I want that. I want the White House, picket fence. I want all this stuff. I want to be mad. So they get all that, and they're 40, trying to have children. Then they have to end up in a fertility clinic. But anyway, they see the numbers. Yeah, they see the numbers of who have the highest amount of abortion rates, the highest infant mortality rates, and so they're like, well, we're going to have to put a law in here to stop it.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have to touch this again next week because Zephyr's on a roll here. And I don't know what happened to Mama Acid because we all were supposed to be jamming
it's okay.
today.
She'll be here next Thursday.
It's our first show back, and we just winging it. We were just winging it, and we were having a good time. Thank you, Zephyr, for joining me. Be sure to join Zephyr Sunday evening at 6 for I Am Meta. Big up yourself, Sister Queen. Lodge up yourself. Thanks for tuning in.
Big up.
Just listen to I Am Meta from 6 to 7. Following I Am Meta, you got All About Love, Nothing But Love with Lady D, Blossom, and Cool G. You don't want to miss it. Trust me, because it's all about love.
And we're so happy to be back on the air.
And we're happy to be back. We're happy to be back. And thank you for just letting me babble for like a whole half an hour by myself. And while I was waiting on this beautiful queen to come and join me. And Mama asked me going to give it to her. But it was fun. It was fun.
Yes.
And I think I kind of liked the time of 8 to 9.
Yes.
So it's a good time. So next week Thursday from 8 to 9.
We miss you, Mama Acid.
Yeah, we are called.
All right. Yeah. I might tune her in if she want to say something on Sunday.
On Sunday, right. So we want to big up each and every one for joining us. It was fun. It was fun to be back. And Saturday, be sure to join me for the Lady D show. I'll be on from 12 to 4 p.m. with all of your latest tunes and all of the entertainment and all of that jazz, on the Lady D show. So be sure to join me on Saturday. And it was just fantastic. It was fun. It feels good to be back.
That's why I came. So I can get the momentum. We're ready for them.
What the angel say? And so.
So
we just tell each and everyone, have a fantabulously fabuloso day. And we're going to leave out with the diva herself. She says, don't give up. You never. Or should we just do some type of grooving now? Let's do Don't Give Up. And that is the diva herself. Twiggy, want to say big ups to you. Thank you all for joining us. So you know what, before we go, Zephyr, you want to say anything to the listeners? Any see you later, or we already did it?
Oh, well, yeah, I thought you done close it out. But
well, we
check me on Sunday. Because you have a whole hour to hear my mouth and my guests.
Saturday, be sure to join me 12 to 4 o'clock, all right? No vibes.
And much love.
Much love. Mwah. See upon it. Don't you? Want to say big shout outs to our English massive, the English crew. Big shout outs to you all. And thanks for tuning in. See, Queenie. Jackie, want to say big ups to you. Thanks for keeping it locked. I don't see
I see this says
Preach
two.
upon it.
There's only one I can see. Remember, not everybody. That's what I said. Not everybody can see this top shot. Yeah, but I'm gonna make a comment because I just talked to her. Here you go. Yeah, I love this. Thank you, Lady D. Here you go.
I guess we can play some music. I guess we need to play some music. You ready to go?
No, we're still on the air. We're still on the air. We're still on the air.
Well, that is the diva. Yes, she said don't give up. She said you got to pray on it. You got to do all of these
Don't
things.
give up. No matter the trial, no matter the tribulation, no matter the obstacle.
That is it.
We are greater than our circumstances.
That's
Remember
what
that.
we're talking about. That's what we're talking
Check
about.
me on Sunday. We'll talk more.
And check me on Saturday,
Yeah.
12 to 4. And then following Ayameta, check out All About Love, Nothing But Love.
That's going to be groovy.
Sunday.
Groovy.
On the 7th. Oh, groovy.
It's going to be groovy.
Groovy.
It's going to be groovy.
Well, alrighty. We're going to get out of here. We want to send out condolences out to Queenie in England over the passing of her daughter.
Oh, wow. Yeah, big up. Mm-hmm.
Hey, music. Loving her. Ciao, ciao. Groovy.
It sure done. I don't know if that was dry. Unless I was early. I forgot I was
Next week.
Same place, same time.
And it's
You're off there, yeah? You're going there. Okay.